harvest time, every farmer keeps a close eye on his crops. But for the next 3 weeks, these Wiltshire fields will be under constant examination. For 24 hours a day, video cameras and microphones will record exactly what happens to these crops, and the tapes will be examined by teams of experts. This is what they hope to see. 10 miles from the closely observed fields is one of the crop circles that have baffled farmers and scientists. There are numerous theories of what causes the increasingly intricate patterns, anything from whirlwinds to UFOs. Now, researchers who've studied the phenomenon for 10 years have asked the BBC and Japanese television to find the answer. Operation Blackbird will use heat-sensitive cameras to watch the fields through the night.
We're here to film a crop circle happening. I mean, we want to show that it's not a hoax. That's the main purpose of the exercise. We want to show that crop circles are caused by something other than young farmers turning out to the pub or little green men landing in spaceships.
Every summer for the past 12 years, crop circles have appeared in this field. The Crop Watch team hope that'll happen again this year, and they'll be the first to record the formation of a crop circle. But the mystery behind the strange patterns in Britain's fields may not be solved by Operation Blackbird, as even the people behind it admit. Last year, the amateur enthusiasts spent a week watching one field, only to find that a crop circle had formed in a field directly behind them.
Well, joining me now from Operation Blackbird in Wiltshire is Colin Andrews, who's coordinating the project. He's author of a book on corn circles and has studied the subject for 10 years. Mr. Andrews, first let's look at some of the possible causes. The most tantalizing prospect, I suppose, is flying saucers. Is there any evidence that they were caused by flying saucers?
There is evidence that we do have here a phenomenon which on occasions is associated with an airborne component. At night, often luminous, orange in colour.
What is the evidence then that the flying saucers might be involved?
Well, we have to be careful with the term. Flying saucers conjure up all sorts of connotations, of little green men and so on. We're looking at an airborne component which is unidentified, and indeed many people in the vicinity of these markings here in Wiltshire and in Hampshire have conclusively seen airborne illuminated components at ground level.
You sound like you believe them.
Well, you cannot go on year after year disbelieving credible witnesses, and this is now a determined effort to secure on high-quality film the full event, whatever that event might turn out ultimately to be.
What about this other suggestion that they're caused by whirlwinds?
I personally cannot begin to go along with the theory. We have looked very closely at it during 1987, a determined effort on the meteorological possibilities. There's no correlation in the data to support it.
They've got very well-defined edges too, haven't they, these circles?
They have indeed.
So it would seem unlikely, wouldn't it, that wind would cause it?
It's most unlikely. We have here something which is extremely graphic, something which is extremely symbolic, and I think the bottom line is that we have an energy field which appears to know where it is. There is something here which has optical appreciation.
Couldn't we all be taken for a ride on this one, though? Couldn't it be young farmers coming out of the pub with their mowers?
Not at all. Myself and Pat Delgado, the authors of the book Circular Evidence, we have been looking at this for nearly 10 years, and we have the conclusive evidence that there is no hoax whatsoever.
Are we going to be able to find pictures of it, though, do you think, in the next couple of weeks?
Well, I certainly hope so. We've got a great deal of equipment here. I think getting onto it for £1 million worth of equipment. We're looking at anything that moves on the ground or in the sky, right through the spectrum, from heat sources, infrared, right through to the visible spectrum. Right. If anything happens here, we should see it.
Good luck. Thank you very much, Colin Andrews.
Thank you.
Blackbird will use heat-seeking cameras and round-the-clock vigilance to try to discover the true force behind the mysterious marks.
At harvest time, every farmer keeps a close eye on his crops. But for the next 3 weeks, these Wiltshire fields will be under 24-hour surveillance. Video cameras and microphones will record everything that happens, and the pictures will be studied minutely by a team of observers. This is what they hope to see, another of the crop circles that have baffled farmers and scientists. Theories about the causes behind the increasingly intricate patterns range from whirlwinds to UFOs. Now, amateur enthusiasts who've studied the phenomenon for 10 years have asked the BBC and Japanese television to find an answer. Operation Blackbird will use heat-seeking cameras to watch the crops through the night. Every summer for the past 12 years, crop circles have formed in this field. This year, Operation Blackbird hopes to catch the patterns returning on videotape.
We hope to see the energies that are causing these things. We hope to establish whether there is an airborne component or whether it is in fact a ground earth energy effect. That certainly we're going to be able to ascertain by high quality film.
But the mystery behind the strange patterns in the fields may still prove elusive. Last year, Mr. Andrews and his friends watched one field for 10 days, only to find that a circle had appeared in a field directly behind them.
A surveillance operation is going on in Wiltshire tonight in an attempt to discover the cause of mysterious circles which have appeared in cornfields in southern England. There are numerous theories of what causes the increasingly intricate patterns, anything from whirlwinds to UFOs. Operation Blackbird, as it's called, will use video cameras and microphones to record exactly what happens to these crops, and the tapes will be examined by teams of experts. The Crop Watch team hope that they'll be the first to record the formation of a crop circle.